We have some massive ban announcements for Commander, and it's going to shock a few people, but a few of these, I have to admit, I'm surprised they weren't banned because of how powerful they were, but then there's a few that kind of shocked me, and we're going to discuss it in today's video. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Mattcaster Mage. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and joining all the fun we have here. And I don't know if this one's going to be that fun if you bought any of these cards at an all-time high, but needless to say, definitely something you have to be on the lookout for when cards get banned, especially if you want to play competitively. It really does affect the prices of these cards, and it could affect your ability to play the game. Now, when it comes to Commander, it's the least competitive format, so I don't think these bans are going to really cause that much panic, although if you're in a play group and they're very rule specific, they're going to point out, if you're trying to play any of these cards, that those cards are banned. We don't want them in our play group. Now, every play group, you know, the rules may vary. You might have a very relaxed play group that has a very different look at their power levels in the decks. You have some that might be very strict as well. So needless to say, it is the most played format. So even though it's not the most competitive, the fact that it's the most played, I think this is going to be a bit of an impact for sure on the market. And first of all, I haven't told you guys which cards were banned yet. So why don't we start off with the cards that were banned with the ban and restricted announcement from the 23rd of September. So as you can see, Dockside Extortionist is banned. Jeweled Lotus is banned. That one is crazy. Mana Crypt is banned. That might be the craziest. And also Nadu Wing Wisdom. That is one I saw it coming, to be honest. It's extremely powerful. It's a nice combo piece as well. Dockside Extortionist is also pretty wild. That one is, I don't want to say it was as obvious as Nadu Wing Wisdom, but it's definitely a very played card in Commander, and it's extremely powerful. Like, you can really run away with the game with all the treasure tokens you can create with this. These two, it's basically just, you know, you're looking at fast mana. These ones, I was surprised that they were banned. Because they were like such staples, right? I mean, you could argue Soul Ring is one of the most powerful cards in Commander. Will that get banned? But like Mana Crypt, that is a card that's been around in Commander for so long. The fact that it's being banned now is kind of shocking to me, to be honest. But maybe there's just, you know, there's so many new players getting into Magic the Gathering. And, you know, when you're a new player and you're trying to play Magic with the little bit of money you have, and you're buying like a precon, you want to play at the Commander table, and then people are busting out these cards like Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus, yeah, I can feel bad for sure, considering the price point and the price to entry for these cards as well. Just kind of crazy, because these two cards right here can literally make or break sets. You know, like when people are looking at a reprint set coming out, people are speculating what's going to be in it, what's going to make it worth it in terms of value. And Mana Crypt, like you could slot a Mana Crypt into a set that's a master set or something like that, and like all is forgiven. It's that good of a card that you throw that card in there and people are like, well, now the set's worth buying. Same as Jeweled Lotus. And the fact that you're seeing these two cards banned, it's going to cause some issues with pricing for sure. They're probably going to go down. You're probably going to see these cards, all of them, on tomorrow's market move video, so stay tuned for that. But they're already going down in price, and let's take a look at some of these cards right now. So this is the original version, the Commander Legends version of Jeweled Lotus, and as you can see, look at that steep decline. Boom. That is crazy. Look at that decline. So let's go to the 1 month trend so we can see a little better. So it looks like it started to kind of go down on the, well, 21st it was 89.66, and then it dropped to 28.81. I guess there was some speculation before that this card was going to get banned, because that's a gigantic decline. That's a 67.15% decline in its price. Wow, on TCG Player. That is crazy. So obviously these cards are already being affected, even though we're going to get more data on this tomorrow. Kind of crazy. That's a gigantic decline in price for that card. And then you have, you know, Mana Crypt. This is a card that's played in more formats, and like Jeweled Lotus is specifically for Commander, right? So that card is probably going to see the biggest decline. Let's see, Mana Crypt here, 1 month. Yeah, so it's actually hasn't went down that much. September 21st, $174.23, then dropped down to $164.42. So not as dramatic. It did drop though, but just nothing too crazy. You know, this is the Eternal Masters version. This is the version I imagine a lot of people have the most of if you're a collector. I mean, the other versions are pretty expensive. Like the oldest version is very expensive. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys little bit of a look on these cards specifically right now. And you know, these are gonna be on tomorrow's video, so I'm gonna be diving deeper into these for sure. Nadewing Wisdom here, you know, you're looking at another card band. Let's see the 1 month trend right here. So yeah, so it's 248, 205, and now it's down to 194. So I mean, it was already a fairly cheap card, so it's not that dramatic. It's not like buying Jewel Lotus at close to $100 and seeing it drop down to like 25 bucks. Like that is absurd. And then the next card here is Dockside Extortionist. This is the original printing from Commander 2019, and this one also is very specific to Commander, like Jewel Lotus, so it's going to see the biggest drop now. Let's look at the 1 month chart here, and as you can see, similar, where 21st it was $80.88, dropped down to $29.75. It lost 63.27% of its value in 1 day. So just imagine when the data comes in for tomorrow how far these have gone down. Or maybe they crash so dramatically that they might stabilize, because those are gigantic declines. But specifically with Dockside Extortionist and Jewel Lotus, these are cards that are very, very heavily played in the Commander format. So they're obviously going to see the biggest decline in that regard. But Mana Crypt's still a good card. I don't think it's going to go, I mean, it's going to go down more, but I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as the two cards that I just mentioned, Jewel Lotus and Dockside Extortionist. Now, this also kind of brings up what I was talking about earlier in the beginning of the video, kind of just touching upon this, that Commander, it really is, it's a very casual format, and while, yes, obviously these bans are affecting the cards' prices, again, it's really about your own play group and the way you see the game. If it's okay with your friends to play these certain cards, you know, as long as you bring it up before a game, explain the power level of your deck, and say, is it okay if I have these cards? I wouldn't worry too much about it. Obviously, in terms of losing value on your cards, that does suck. But when it comes to playing the game, there's still ways to play these cards. It really just depends on who you're playing these cards with. Wow. Okay, so that's really all I want to touch upon in today's video. I'm going to be talking about these again tomorrow in the Market Movers video, so stay tuned for that. So if you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe and join in all the action we have here, talking about the banned list for Commander today. Wild, wild times. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.